Tuesday, October 24th. Welcome to your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including a Stratford student honored for stopping to help another runner in a recent race. Frank Rita will have a look at your forecast, and later on an Nutmeg Sports Update, and Donald Ang joins us later to take a look back on this day in history. But first, Hearst, Connecticut media reports this morning that Connecticut's 116-day budget impasse finally ended at 1:30 a.m. this morning, when legislative leaders agreed they have a deal that can be voted on later in the week. Now, leaders were reticent to discuss specifics pending further discussions with rank-and-file lawmakers. They agreed that major issues that had already been reported, including a 45-cent additional tax on cigarettes, a tougher cap on annual spending increases, and the use of energy funds paid by natural gas and electricity customers, will remain in the two-year $41 billion plan. Now, the state has been without a budget since the start of the fiscal year on July 1st, and the state has been run under Governor Daniel P. Malloy's executive order since then. Well, a Republican budget that passed last month with the support of Senate Democrats and 5 in the House was successfully vetoed by Malloy. Now, we'll hear more about the budget deal here on HAN tomorrow at 12:30 on CT Pulse when State Senator Tony Wong joins us with some details. Well, in other news, Stratford High School senior Ryan Duffy was honored and received a standing ovation at Monday night's Board of Education meeting for stopping and helping an injured Massac High runner during a cross-country race. Now, Stratford Star's Melvin Mason spoke with Ryan Duffy after the meeting. Take a look.
All right, Ryan Duffy, senior Stratford High School and the member of the cross-country team. So I saw tonight you were honored tonight at the Board of Ed meeting because you did something pretty significant. If you could, tell me a little bit more about what you did here and when.
Last Wednesday at our SWC race at Bethel High, there was a down runner along the path, and it was unfortunately out of sight, so no one could really see him. But I saw him down, and he was unfortunately face down, and I ran over to him and I was like, "Hey, bud, like, what's up?" Because I was concerned, and then I didn't get a response, and it was just concerning because I didn't hear him reply back. So then I ran back up the path to signal for help and signal for trainers, and then once I got a trainer, I just made sure the trainer knew where to go and guided the trainer to the runner, and then after that I just continued my race. Okay,
wow. So that's one heck of an experience, Ryan. You getting a chance to run out there and you end up helping the runner out, potentially saving his life. I guess, did you ever think that would ever happen to you at a race?
Not really. I hope it would never happen to anyone during a race, but I'm just glad I was able to help him out during that time.
Okay. So now, how do you feel tonight, knowing all this? Have you had a chance to speak with the gentleman you helped out?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to speak with the runner from Massac, but I heard the coach was very thankful, and I'm just happy I was able to help him out during that time.
What were you thinking during that whole time?
Just get him help as fast as you could.
Just get help as fast as you could. Okay. Yeah. So, I guess was there a little bit of adrenaline pumping here? Or, I mean, I imagine your adrenaline's already pumping for race, but now it's a different pressure altogether.
Yeah, I just wanted to get him help as fast as I could and just get him help. Yeah.
Okay. So I take it you're very relieved about everything. In fact, he's okay now.
Yeah, definitely.
Being honored tonight here at the Board of Ed, what does that say? Seeing your coach, seeing your teammates here. To kind of be here for you and see you get honored by the Board of Ed.
It's just truly an honor to see them all here tonight and just love my guys and love my team, and just very thankful for them to show. And I know any one of my teammates would have done the same thing.
All right then. So obviously a different thing.
And thanks again to Melvin Mason for sharing that video with us. In other news, Fairfield Police's Marine Unit last Thursday rescued 2 men after their boat overturned in the water off of Black Rock Harbor. Now, the Marine officers arrived on the scene and observed 2 males clinging to the rocks at a navigational marker outside of Black Rock Harbor. The vessel was overturned and partially submerged at anchor approximately 50 yards away from that marker. Now, Marine officers rescued those 2 boaters, identified as 53-year-old Felix Almonte of Bridgeport and 53-year-old Pedro Castro of Bridgeport. Now, Castro was suffering from mild hypothermia and was rushed to Captain's Cove Marina, where AMR was awaiting with medical care. Now, preliminary investigation determined that sea and wind conditions were a contributing factor to that vessel overturning. The boaters were not equipped with personal flotation devices, and that case is still under investigation by Fairfield Police's Marine Unit. In other news, state police are investigating after a racist email was sent to students at a Connecticut high school. Police say the email came from a teacher's account at Wilcox Technical High School in Meriden that appeared to have been hacked around 2:17 p.m. Monday. A State Department of Education spokesman says the email was sent to the entire staff and school body. Laura Steffen, spokeswoman for the department chief of staff, says the email contained deeply disturbing, inappropriate, and offensive racial comments. Now, Steffen says parents have been notified and the school system is working with state police to identify all individuals involved. An investigation is ongoing. And November 14th will be the first day the state Supreme Court will begin hearing a case brought by the families of the victims of Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. Now, the state's highest court announced that November 14th will be the first date it will hear arguments in the appeal filed by 9 Sandy Hook victims' families, members and one survivor of that mass shooting against Remington Arms Company, Bushmaster Firearms, Camphor Holding, and Riverview Gun Sales of East Windsor. Now, the state Supreme Court transferred the case to its own docket last December, bypassing the state appellate court. The families are appealing the decision of Superior Court Judge Barbara Bellis, who dismissed the case on October 14, 2016. Families of the victims first brought a civil suit in April 2015 against the manufacturer, distributor, and seller of the AR-15 rifle, which was used by Adam Lanza on December 14, 2012. And in news this morning, Ridgefield educators are trusting in the research and listening to the people. Despite survey results that voiced hesitation in changing school start times last week, the Board of Education has approved a change in school start times that will go into effect in the 2019-2020 school year. Now, the decision follows more than a year's worth of community dialogue dating back to the fall of 2016. Well, the extra year gives the district more time to move forward with its plan. The board selected to review the option that has the district's 2 middle schools starting at 7:55 a.m. and getting out at 2:45 and pushing back the high school start time to 8:30 a.m. Now, this option nets $90,000 in savings next year, according to consultants, but there's a lot of work to be done with this scenario, board members said, and you can get all the details at theridgefieldpress.com. All right, switching gears, going to throw it over to Frank Granito now for a look at the forecast. Frank, kind of crazy out there today.
It's a little dark and ominous out there today, Kate. Very gloomy, and we're seeing a lot of breeze as well. Plenty of cloud cover coming around today, and we're going to see morning showers turning into periods of rain and possible thunderstorms this afternoon with an expected high of 72 today. Windy with showers and thunderstorms overnight. Possible heavy downpours could bring flooding in parts of the county. The Bridgeport Emergency Operations Center has issued an alert for possible power outages and flooding through Wednesday morning. On and off rain and drizzle tomorrow morning, then a mix of sun and clouds in the afternoon, a high of 66 during the day, a low of 47 overnight with mostly clear skies as it looks like it's going to improve down the stretch of the work week. Partly sunny out Thursday, a little breezy, gusts around 15 to 18 miles per hour during the day, high of 61, and then mainly clear skies overnight with a low of 43. Should make for perfect conditions as the FCX fall postseason officially gets underway Thursday. That'll do it for this weather update. For now, though, let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, Donald Eng joins us to take a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports update, and there's more local news after this.
Wild Birds Unlimited.
At Wild Birds Unlimited of Brookfield, get expert advice from our certified bird feeding specialists. We offer always fresh, clean seed that will be sure to attract birds to your home feeder. Experience our excellent customer service. Open 7 days a week. Visit us at 317 Federal Road, Brookfield.
Wild Birds Unlimited. We bring people and nature together.
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Base Star and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
Whether you're looking for a great test prep program, tutoring to boost your grades, or a blast-off tour with the college of your dreams, C2 Education is here to help. There is nothing one-size-fits-all about our programs. We offer customized tutoring and test prep for each student. Call us today at 203-423-3328.
At Rings End, we say it's time to re-love your home. Time to refresh and reinvigorate the way you live. And whether you're redoing something big or small, remember the letters RE stand for Rings End. We're the new model in home remodeling.
UK Gourmet is the largest specialty grocer in the area, featuring food from England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Over 80 teas to choose from and a brilliant assortment of biscuits to go with them. Over 70 cheeses from grass-fed cows, which makes a smashing difference in taste. The creamiest chocolate you'll ever taste using no artificial colors or preservatives. So say hooray for UK Gourmet, 78 Stony Hill Road in Bethel, or visit ukgourmet.us.
Wild birds.
Welcome back to this October 24th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and it's time to take a look back on this day in history with Donald Eng. Don.
Well, Kate, it was 15 years ago, and the entire country really breathed a sigh of relief. First, though, we go back to 1861. The transcontinental telegraph line across the U.S. is completed, consisting of more than 27,000 poles and 2,000 miles of wire. The line closed the gap between Fort Kearny, Kansas, and Fort Churchill, Nevada. It also brought an end to the brief but colorful 19-month run of the Pony Express. You see the rider there giving a wave. The Pony Express had cut cross-country communications from 3 months to 5 days. The telegraph, of course, made coast-to-coast communication practically instantaneous. 1901, Annie Edson Taylor becomes the first person to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel, at least the first person to do it and survive. The 63-year-old widow had hoped to secure a comfortable retirement, but after a brief period of fame, her manager stole the barrel, and Taylor spent the rest of her money on private investigators to get it back. She would live another 20 years after the Niagara Falls plunge, earning money posing for photos with tourists and working as, of all things, a clairvoyant. 1929, the Black Thursday stock market crash on the New York Stock Exchange, the beginning of a 4-day skid that would lead to the 12-year Great Depression. The panic was multiplied because volume had become so heavy that stock market tickers were hours behind and major traders began blindly selling. The Dow would continue to slide for 3 more years, eventually losing more than 90% of its pre-Black Thursday value. Finally, now we go to 2002 in the Washington, D.C. area for this.
Islamic world.
Police believe both suspects may have acted as shooters. One theory, that the victims who were struck in the head were the work of Muhammad, an army marksman. That victims shot in the chest or back were the work of the less experienced Malvo. We have also learned that on Tuesday, the killing of the bus driver in Maryland may have been the result of police not giving in to the snipers' demand for $10 million they wanted by a Monday deadline. The note found at the scene said, "We struck again because you failed to meet our demands."
Was Beltway snipers John Allen Muhammad and Lee Boyd Malvo arrested on this day in 2002 following a 3-week murder spree in which the pair killed 17 people. Muhammad has been executed for the murders, Malvo serving multiple life sentences. That is your look back in history for today, October 24th, and I'm Donald Eng.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, in Darien, 3 smash and grab burglaries were reported in the parking lot of Bar Method Studio on the Post Road on October 10th. Officers responded to the scene after a visitor returned to her vehicle to find that her left rear window had been broken and her wallet was taken from the car. She reported $10 in cash, her driver's license, and 6 credit cards stolen. Now, another victim had their right rear window smashed and an Italian leather purse valued at $200 was stolen, along with a wallet valued at $200 containing her driver's license and 9 credit cards. Now, a third victim had their front passenger window shattered and their wallet stolen from the car's console. Her license and credit cards were taken along with it. Now, police are still investigating the burglaries, which all occurred between 7:15 and 8:20 p.m. And Congressman Jim Himes, a Democrat, came to New Canaan Sunday to show support for Kit Devereaux, who's a Democrat running for first selectman there. Now, Himes spoke about New Canaan politics and his concerns about the future. Take a look.
Though I can't win it, I have always enjoyed working with the Republican first selectmen. They've been very decent people. Rob and his predecessor, very decent people, actually interested in things like affordable housing and that sort of thing. I'm a little worried, considering what happened to Rob, where he was sort of tossed aside. And you know, I'm a loyal Democrat, so I know we can do better. I'm a little worried about where the town of New Canaan could go in this next election if we don't elect Kit. And it's not just true here in New Canaan. We are somewhat insulated from sort of the Tea Party and from Donald Trump, but not entirely. And so all over Fairfield County, you see, for example, in Greenwich, proposals to just slash the budget by 15%, which dramatically changes the nature of the town.
And you can get more at ncadvertiser.com. Well, in Ridgefield, the periodic weekend closures of Route 7 in Branchville with traffic detoured through the center of town are over, and weekday work at the Route 35 bridge near Fox Hill condominiums is progressing toward a late November return to two-way traffic. Now, John Dunham, district engineer with the State Department of Transportation, said the Route 7 shutdown on Friday, October 13th and Saturday, October 14th was the last one. First Selectman Rudy Marconi said there is a final inspection of that area soon, and the state's inspection team will likely be joined by Marconi and town engineer Charles Fisher. You can get more on that story at therichfieldpress.com. And Ryan's Rebels Trunk or Treat is coming to Madison Middle School in Trumbull this Saturday, October 28th. Now, the first annual family event is a fundraiser for Ryan's Rebels, a local nonprofit started in honor of 3-year-old Trumbull resident Ryan Joyce. Ryan battled neuroblastoma for 18 months before he died in December 2015. Now, Ryan's Rebels now supports families and children fighting pediatric cancer. The October 28th Trunk or Treat event will be held rain or shine from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. at Madison Middle School and involves face painting, pumpkin decorating, and trunk design prizes, and much more. Now, admission is free for trick-or-treaters, and a $20 suggested donation is requested for each participating car. You can get a lot more information at ryansrebels.org. All right, let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for your Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
All right, thank you, Kate. And we were live at Fairfield Ward last night for the Mustangs and Falcons Dig Pink Night as the crosstown rivals came together off the court in a fundraising effort. Really a special event to be a part of, but once the whistle blew, there was no love lost as these girls battled it out on the court, leaving everything out there to take down their rivals. Fairfield Ward needing a win to keep their FCIAC postseason hopes alive, but for the second year in a row, the Falcons play the role of spoiler, and Ludlow comes away with a 3-1 victory, eliminating the Mustangs now from this year's FCIAC tournament. Let's take a look at the highlights from last night.
Perfectly executed, and now Parisi serves for the set. Got it, and it's 1-0 Mustangs.
Ludlow's got to take care of business now. Put this second game away.
Traum getting ready to serve.
Nice job by Traum.
Still alive, and now the Mustangs need to convert. Christensen towards the back line. Going up, are they going to say Doherty touched the net? Yep. And that's the way set 2 ends. We're tied at 1. Amanda Schramm serving for the set. Here's Steensma again. Got it! It's 2-1 Falcons. 24-22. It is match point. Amanda Schramm serving for the Falcons. They're coming to McKenna. And now they're going with Steensma. For the win, and she got it! The Falcons come across town into Ward's gym, and they take down the Mustangs.
So a huge win for the Falcons. We'll have more on that game on Nutmeg Sports later. We'll also hear from the captain, Kate Steensma, on what that win meant to Ludlow. Looking at some of the other scores from girls volleyball last night, Greenwich shutting out Danbury 3-0. Trumbull on top of Trinity 3-0 as well. Wilton defeats Brian McMahon 3-1. The Senators now eliminated from the FCIAC tournament. Ridgefield blanks Norwalk 3-0. West Hill tops Darien, and the Blue Wave is out as well. Staples took down Weston out of conference, and Stanford defeating Bridgeport Central 3-0. We'll have a full update on the FCIAC postseason standings at 2 o'clock on Nutmeg Sports. Myself, Kevin Coleman. For now, though, we go back over to Kate for some more news.
Thanks so much, Frank. And we're actually going to take a break and come back and recap some of the top stories we're following today on your coffee break after this.
Voted Best Gourmet to Go in Fairfield County, Palmer's extensive menu offers everything you'll need to make your next event easy and delicious. Whether you're hosting a small get-together or planning a large celebration, they've got you covered breakfast through dessert. Order online at palmersdarien.com or call 203-655-2077.
Now teeing off, Paul Miller from Miller Nissan in Fairfield.
Excuse me, Mr. Miller. What about my new Sentra?
Right now, lease a 2017 Sentra S for only $97 a month.
He is never going to retire.
Bankwell combines the best personalized service with high-tech banking features for our customers' convenience. We pride ourselves on being a strong community partner. You don't settle for average in anything else you do. Why settle for an average bank? Don't just bank when you can bank well instead. Visit mybankwell.com for more. Manfredi New Canaan is celebrating 3 exceptional years selling Rolex watches and fine jewelry to the Fairfield County community. We appreciate all our loyal clients and look forward to welcoming and helping you discover the perfect gift to celebrate life's most important occasions.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Registration is now open for our fitness training programs for high school athletes. The InSports Performance Center is offering blast speed classes, athletic functional movement assessments, and both men's and women's elite speed and strength training. Our premier programs help bring athletes to the next level. Call 203-268-1214 for more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
Welcome back to this Tuesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. Hearst Connecticut Media reports this morning that Connecticut's 116-day budget impasse finally ended at 1:30 a.m. this morning when legislative leaders agreed they have a deal that can be voted on later in the week. Now, leaders were reticent to discuss specifics pending further discussions with rank-and-file lawmakers. They agreed that major issues that had already been reported, including a 45-cent additional tax on cigarettes, a tougher cap on annual spending increases, and the use of energy funds paid by natural gas and electricity customers, will remain in that 2-year, $41 billion plan. Now, the state has been without a budget since the start of the fiscal year on July 1st, and the state has been run under Governor Daniel P. Malloy's executive order since then. A Republican budget that passed last month with the support of 3 Senate Democrats and 5 in the House was successfully vetoed by Malloy. Now, we'll hear more about the budget deal here on HAN tomorrow at 12:30 on CT Pulse when State Senator Tony Wong joins us with more details. And Stratford High School senior Ryan Duffy was honored and received a standing ovation at Monday night's Board of Education meeting for stopping and helping an injured Massac High School runner during a cross-country race recently. Now, Stratford Star's Melvin Mason spoke with Ryan Duffy after that meeting. Take a look. It's a little glitch there with that video, but you can get more on that story at StratfordStar.com. In other news, Fairfield Police's Marine Unit last Thursday rescued 2 men after their boat overturned in the water off of Black Rock Harbor. The Marine officers arrived on scene and observed 2 males clinging to the rocks at a navigational marker outside of Black Rock Harbor. The vessel was overturned and partially submerged at anchor approximately 50 yards away from the market. Now, Marine officers rescued 2 boaters identified as 53-year-old Felix Almonte of Bridgeport and 53-year-old Pedro Castro of Bridgeport. Now, Castro was suffering from mild hypothermia and was rushed to Captain's Cove Marina, where AMR was awaiting medical care. Now, preliminary investigation determined that sea and wind conditions were a contributing factor to that vessel overturning. The boaters were not equipped with personal flotation devices. That case is still under investigation by the Fairfield Police. And state police are investigating after a racist email was sent to students at a Connecticut high school. Police say the email came from a teacher's account at Wilcox Technical High School in Meriden that appeared to have been hacked around 2:17 p.m. Monday. A State Department of Education spokesman says the email was sent to the entire staff and school body. Now, Laura Stefan, a spokeswoman and department chief of staff, says the email contained deeply disturbing, inappropriate, and offensive racial comments. Now, Stefan says parents have been notified and the school system is working with state police to identify all individuals involved. An investigation is ongoing. And in other news, November 14th will be the first day the state Supreme Court will begin hearing a case brought by the families of victims of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. The state's highest court announced that November 14th will be the first date it will hear arguments in the appeal filed by 9 Sandy Hook victims' family members and 1 survivor of the mass shooting against Remington Arms Company Bushmaster Firearms, Camphor Holding, and Riverview Gun Sales of East Windsor. Now, the state Supreme Court transferred the case to its own docket last December, bypassing the state appellate court. The families are appealing the decision of a Superior Court Judge Barbara Bellis, who dismissed the case back on October 14, 2016. Now, families of the victims first brought a civil suit in April 2015 against the manufacturer, distributor, and the seller of the AR-15 rifle used by Adam Lanza on December 14, 2012. There's more on that story at StraffordStar.com. All right, but let's take one final look at the forecast with Frank Granito. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And again, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies today. Very breezy, wind gusts up around 20 miles per hour, maybe even reaching 25. We'll see some morning showers that are going to turn into periods of rain and thunderstorms through this afternoon. Expected high of 72 today. We'll see windy conditions with showers and thunderstorms again overnight. Possible heavy downpours that could lead to some flooding in parts of the county. The Bridgeport Emergency Operations Center, Kate, has issued an alert for possible power outages and flooding through Wednesday morning. On and off rain and drizzle tomorrow morning, and then a mix of sun and clouds in the afternoon as it starts to clear up down the back half of the week. A high of 66 during the day, mostly clear skies overnight with a low of 47. Partly sunny out Thursday during the day, a little windy, gusts around 15 miles per hour, high of 61, low of 43 overnight, mostly clear. Going to be perfect conditions when the FCX postseason gets underway. I'm back at 2 o'clock with Kevin Coleman. We'll get you caught up on everything you need to know as we get closer and closer to the FCX postseason. For now, though, back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break. Of course, we'll see you tomorrow at 11 with the latest local news and more. Have a great day.